Our Run and Shoot 101 series continues. This episode is 81H Replace, the play that replaced levels. Now, we've gone over levels before on the channel, but just for a refresher, the quarterback rolls to his left, and he'll read that first guy out there on that little out or fade, and then his eyes pan to the left, and you find the first open target. So this play has been in the run and shoot for going all the way back to the 90s, but in the early 2010s they replaced it with this new version that has multiple conversions. So the left side of the play is pretty much the same as it was. That out is a little deeper than it was on levels, but over on the right you have, instead of those unders, they now have the option to sit or break across first man. Here's what it looks like in college football 25. Now you will notice that that out that also can fade is a little deeper. It's a little, I think, too deep almost, where it's not really super viable. So I have been treating this more like a half field concept with a backside alert. So if I see a really good situation over on the left, like off man, no overhang, I might look at that and see if I can hit that out. But otherwise, my eyes are going to be all the way to the right, reading kind of short to high. So versus cover one, I'll show you what I mean. You're going to watch the guy here that's going to be on the option right on the inside, and he's going to turn, and he's either going to sit or he's going to run across. Now, because it's man, he's going to break across. Once I see he's not really open, I'm going to immediately throw it to the dig behind him. You can almost throw this blindly. If the first guy is taken away, covered, the second guy is almost always going to be open behind him. So that makes this a very reliable, consistent chain mover. Here it is against cover 3 match, or 3 seam, as it was called last year in Madden. Again, you're going to see that that guy's kind of sitting on him. You could probably throw it to the short guy, and that's probably what I should have done here. But on this rep in particular, I was able to get it all the way back there. That's way too risky. Don't do that. Throw it to that guy short. Against 3 sky, this is where it's really good. And versus any kind of zone, it's going to be really, really good. So you see he sits, that guy's right on top of him. Immediately go and throw that to the dig. He's going to be wide open behind him. You're basically going to be high-lowing that kind of seam area. And you always want to be running this with the trips side to the boundary so that you can really attack this leverage right here. If you do run it with that trips to the field, that dig is going to be open a lot more often, but there's sometimes where you'll just have no one open. Really get the most out of this play, I think you should settle for, if you get the hitch, you get the hitch. And if you get one of the dig or the under when he runs across first man, then that's great too. I think if you can consistently convert 5 yards or maybe 15 yards, depending on who comes open, that's going to be a lot more valuable in the long run than just having a slightly higher number of yards getting that dig, but sometimes that dig just will be covered and you have nowhere else to go. And like this play is an example, you can throw it short and still pick up a good amount of yards. Against palms, it's going to play out kind of the same. Again, we're going to be watching that guy that's hitching up there. He sits. I see the defenders around him drifting away from him, so I'm immediately throwing it to him. He's open, and he's only going to get more open. If you wait too long, then that window won't really be there. He'll get hit almost immediately because the defenders will have kind of expanded and then be ready to bounce back. But if you can get them when they're still expanding away from him, let's see how it happens here. He's kind of sitting, and you see everyone still moving away from him. Get it to him immediately. If you wait, he's more likely to just catch it and get hit. He might still get that, but if you can make a move there, if you can have that shake and bake on the sticks ability. Against cover 9. What was nice about that last one is that was against cover 6, which had given some of our other coverages some issues. Here you're going to see anytime it's a 2-side or cover 9 in this instance, this dig just hits a sweet spot. That's 15 yards at the catch point, and he can easily get to 18 to 20. I think we're going to see the same thing again here against cover 2. So my eyes are short on the little hitch. That guy's kind of sitting right on top of him. That's fine. That means our guy behind him is going to be open. Now, I don't think that linebacker could possibly play that ball after he's been down on the hitch, but you tell me. Hey, if you've been enjoying this, you should smash that like button. Thanks, Totally the Real Falco. Anyways, fire zones. Let's see how it plays out here. The two defenders are kind of exchanging him. They're going to basically convert to man. I love that this matches trips now. And you're going to see that you're going to get that dig is going to be the guy open. Now, that linebacker, I still think your trajectory is good enough. That linebacker probably couldn't make a play on that. But sometimes with these users that are out there, they can make insane plays. Cover 0, 4 cross blitz. This is kind of one where it's not really great. Nothing is really great, but that dig still consistently kind of beats man coverage just enough that you can kind of consistently get that. Because he kind of breaks out and then comes back in, they can't really shade man well against that. 2 blitz. Now this isn't one we've really covered that much because 2 blitz has been pretty good actually against a lot of stuff, and it's not one I see a ton. But if you do get 2 blitz, this play is also pretty good against it. He did get kind of jammed outside on that rep, so I mean that is something to keep in mind. But that dig is really good. Now I'd be remiss if I didn't show you any reps where I threw that out fade. So against an all-out blitz, a casino 7-man blitz, you don't have any time. But there's 0 on helping that corner, and that corner has to maintain deep leverage. So this will be open a lot. Now, will it be open every time? No. Could you get sacked? Possibly. But against cover 0, this becomes pretty viable. Anyways, the Discord. We've been having all sorts of great conversations over there. Here's a little discussion we had earlier going over some of the new blocking mechanics that are in the game. People are always asking questions and coaches are sharing. It's always just super educational and enjoyable. This is my Patreon. This is a bunch of the guides that have been in the last year that have been dropped on there. I really put a lot into a lot of these documents and put them together. So if you see anything in there that piques your interest, feel free to join the Patreon. You can do it at whatever level you feel fine with. I appreciate all your support. I just have an important message. Free NYKia 31. We need you, bud. Comment below to let me know what play you want me to break down next.